are here, moving in this place. I worship you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Kingdom Child. My name is Shanna, and I will be bringing forth another dream that I did receive early this morning. Today being Monday, February the 26th. I believe I had this dream about 6-ish, 7 a.m. this morning. The original audio rather, I will be sharing with you toward the end, but I wanted to give, just like a prelude and a little clearer voice there. So really briefly, I'll just, go over it. So myself and my two children, my son and my daughter, were at a theme park. Okay. I believe sunny day, normal day. I believe that it was during the summer, obviously, because we were at a theme park. And I believe out of nowhere, water just began to rise. I didn't see exactly what, direction it came from. But I remember, just kind of stepping out of it onto like a bench and things like that. And over time, people started to whisper and, then, the water continued to rise and rise and over to my right, I believe, was a very tall tower. I don't know if it was like a water tower. I couldn't really see the very top, but the legs, the bottom of it, clearly what we see when we're driving, whether it's in a field or, in a city somewhere. It has like, ladders and different ways that you can kind of like climb up there. So anyways, the water began to rise and rise and rise, and people began to panic. And myself and my children, we didn't know what was going on. So we began to, step on this and that, and the water continued to rise, so high up that, people were, I'm sure, I don't want to say drowning, but there were a lot of people that were heading over to this tower for safety. And when all of a sudden there was a very tall wall of water that came rushing in, and if I'm looking forward, it was kind of a clock, maybe 1 o'clock, and in that direction, and I saw it, and it came swooshing downward. And interesting enough, I knew that, again, God had his hand on things, and he actually really put on a spectacular show at the very end. The water ended up protecting us because as it came down, it did cover the right side of me. We were distant from the others, myself and my children. Everybody was running over to the tower for safety. And of course, it was a distance away. And so we got on whatever we could that was in radius of us. But we were separated, if you will. But that end did receive a lot of the destruction that came from that wall of water. However, as it began to head, as I would have believed, in our direction, as we braced, and I looked back and I realized, like, wait, okay, it hasn't hit us yet, type of thing is what I'm thinking. I saw the water recede, meaning not all of it, just like what would have been in front of us, kind of, I don't know, I guess as it was flowing our way, it kind of went down as if dry land or back to the pavement, and it went on to the left and stood up tall, grew up tall, a wall to the left. And as it got ready to flow back down, there was a beautiful flow in the water that was not even magical, but it was so um the transition in the water started to curve and swirl into animals, and it was such a beautiful, I, I don't even know what to call it, guys. Like, and I was so excited when I woke up, and I'm like, I had to run, and I had to share, record exactly what I had just saw. Um, and for some, again, it was definitely terrifying. And for myself and my children, I was more concerned. I wasn't afraid. I didn't feel a fear, but at the end, I felt like God reassured me and allowed me to know that, like, hey, I got you. Like, you're okay. And he I don't know, he just kind of put his signature on it, and he put a smile on our face, and my kids and I, we felt safe, and we're like, oh my goodness, like, Lord, you're so awesome. And as I'm thinking back, I'm still in awe, because his grace is so sufficient, and regardless of all the things that's going on around us, like, he does definitely give us an inner peace. And yeah, it's just so beautiful, guys. Um, so yeah, I just want to go ahead and share with you what I dreamed, and I do know for sure that it was definitely a biblical spiritual dream, because that's the only time I have, like, a lot of the flood dreams. Um, this is one I've never seen before. It again, it was, I guess, my interpretation of something coming that was unexpected for most, and it was a lot of fear, it was a lot of chaos, it was people running all around, everybody not knowing what to do. It was a really, really interesting, crazy, spectacle there, and um, my job was to stay focused and to focus on what was in front of me, and do my best to, you know, um, find what I could that was in radius, and just trust God, honestly, at the end of the day. And I think because of our faithfulness, and our level of contentment in Him, He is delighted. But unfortunately, yes, a lot of the world will see this chaos, but we were untouched, guys. We were, there was protection there. And not only was there protection, it's like He granted us, or He allowed us to see, or to let us know, rather, like, again, it's okay. Like, I'm here. Like, I'm in control, and He did this beautiful show. Again, it's almost like sitting and you're waiting on, like, the fireworks, and it's just so beautiful. There's all sorts of different variations, and I honestly felt like that's what my children and I were able to see at the very end. Not only did He protect us from that big wave, He allowed it to subside, and then when the water came up, and it was like this beautiful, again, performance from the waves that created this motioned canvas of, you know, animals. It was like a cheetah running and a dolphin swimming, and it was all coming at the same time, back across our peripheral. And I was like, oh my goodness, so beautiful. So, anyways, guys, be encouraged. Just know that, yes, the time is near. Yes, a lot of things will be happening. But if, we're in Him at the very end of it all, we'll be protected, we'll be saved, um we'll be able to see such marvelous like events, and it will be beautiful for those who have their eyes fixated on him and trusting in him and knowing. It's that relationship, and it's the gratitude and the reverence, and it's just, guys, it was awesome. So anyways, I will talk you guys to death, but thank you guys for listening. Again, I'll go ahead and share the original recording again. Remember, I literally had woke up from my sleep and I ran into another room and recorded all that I could remember. So if that's something that you're into, you just want to hear exactly verbatim the emotion and everything else and thoughts that were coming to mind as I'm trying to convey what I literally just saw or experienced, then feel free to continue. If not, and this was sufficient for you guys, I want to, thank you guys again. And all I can say is just be and stay in prayer. Um, I don't know if that really symbolized any time frames. I know it was like a theme park, it's summer, water. Don't know what's up with that, but it's a lot of things happening in the news and things like that. And, it's like, Lord, when, and we don't know. But again, there's so many signs and things that point to, his return. And again, guys, if you don't know him, please get to know him. Will be the best decision you guys have ever made. I just want to thank also everybody who does share and like the video, and also for those that sponsor my videos and have them on their channels. The Lord bless them. They are definitely blessed and highly favored, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to allow my videos to get out. And thank you guys for listening. We're all brothers and sisters in Christ here, and we want to do our best to spread the word and let people know that, hey, listen, you're not in it by yourself. We have a savior. There is hope. There is a way. It's not our way, and learning how to die to self and not leaning to our own understanding, because when we do that, we miss out on a lot of blessings that the Lord has for us. We really do. A lot of the promises that the Lord has for us, we're not able to reap those and receive those because we do what we want to do, and we go off of our own feeling and rationale, and we have to learn to wait, to trust, to depend on him and his word, and what that word says. I just felt compelled to say that because I'm learning a lot of lessons here in the past few weeks, and you guys, please keep me in prayer. But the Lord is still faithful through everything, so it doesn't matter what you're dealing with. At the end of the day, when you can't go to your family and even your friends, and your job is this and your health is that, he's still there. We have to allow him to come in and sup with us. We're so busy trying to handle everything on our own, and a lot of times when we do that, we weaken ourselves. But in him, we're strong if we allow him to be, So, it could be light. The burden could be light if we allow him to carry it. So be blessed, guys, and until next time, thank you. All right, guys. Good morning. This is Monday, February. I don't know if it's the 20. I gotta get the date right. I'm sorry. It's 6:56 a.m. But I had to hurry up and run in here so I can give y'all the strength. Okay, so all right, so I don't know. It looked like we were in a theme park, and destruction was about to be let out, or released, and all we know was there was water that was was like starting to flow in from every direction. I'm talking about people were running, just everywhere trying to get on, stand on benches and just like anything that had height in this park, they were trying to get on. And I remember seeing this really tall tower. I mean, I don't know. It was in comparison to like the Washington Monument, and people started, um, climbing up the ladder, climbing up the ladder. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I was there with, excuse me, I was there with two of my children, my son and my daughter. But for some odd reason, my daughter was, I think she was a lot younger. And so we're standing there, we're witnessing this. So we run, we get on, I don't know what it was, like a booth stall, like the roof. But my eyes are fixated on this really tall, I don't even know what it was. It wasn't a power source. It was I don't know what it was, but everybody started climbing up on it, and the water. I was like, okay, well the water's gonna, it's gonna stop, and it got to like the waist, and then we had to climb and climb and climb, and then to the shoulders, and we're climbing and we're climbing, and as we're climbing again, I'm looking over at this tower, and people are still going up, going up, going up. I mean, right now it's like hundreds of people. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what's happening? And we kept climbing and climbing, and literally it kept going and kept going, and to the point where we were on top of I don't know what roof we ended up getting on, but then I look over, and it's hundreds and hundreds upon hundreds of people, like little ants, that have climbed on this really tall tower. And all of a sudden, excuse me, the tower breaks, and it falls to the right. Okay, so now the very top is buried underwater, and the ones who were attempting to climb up, because again the water continued to rise, were now above the water, and they're sticking out of the water. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like Lord, like what, and it's interesting because I knew he had something to do with it. In the dream, I knew it. There was no direct indication, but I knew it. And so, so after that breaks, I'm like, oh my goodness. So we're still climbing. So now we're on top of this roof, and you see this really massive, I don't know what it was, wave come. So I'm like, okay, kids, come on, let's brace. So we turn around, because I think there was like a wall or something behind us, and I pull them close, and it just whoosh, right? And so all of a sudden, it looked like the water, I don't know, it kind of like, it didn't skip us, it still came our way. But when we turned around, we noticed, it's like the water, it's like it receded, but it was like a scene from the movie of, when Moses parted the Red Sea, right? And so all the water, like a tsunami, like all the water comes, it gets drawn back, kind of like, and then it kind of whoosh. So as we're looking on this roof, and people are screaming and it's like so much stuff going on. I look to my right, no, I look to my left, and when the water pulled back in the direction from right to left, all you saw coming out were in the form of dolphins and cheetahs, and it's kind of like when you think about the clouds and you can kind of see different clouds. And at this point it was like God was being very creative in the performance, kind of gave us like a show, um you know and I was like, oh my goodness, y'all, look at this, look at this, look at this. Like, oh, he's so cool. Like, it was, I can't even, that was, like, I literally woke up smiling because I felt like, okay, whatever he was angry about or whatever happened, I don't know why, but it happened. But for us, the water skipped over our area, like, because I saw the water coming from the right. I saw it coming from the right, but it receded. It like kind of like just, I don't know, as it passes it, like it receded, and then it was like a big tall wall to my left, and as it, I guess, kind of came back down per se to come back to the right, but instead of the water, it was still water, but they were in forms of excuse me, they were in forms of various animals. And I was like, oh my goodness, they weren't real animals, they were formed with the water of again, of like a cheetah, a dolphin, just like different kind of really, really cool animals. And the water receded. And I was like, oh my goodness, like, God is so awesome. Like, I don't know, like, it was intense, but it was reassuring too, because, now mind you, this dream was very fast, but I felt like I've been in this dream all night, and a lot of the scenes took place with the flood, with everybody, climbing here. I mean, anything you could get on. I mean, buildings upon buildings. It was just so high, y'all. And so many people were on this tower. I don't know if you guys look in movies and you see, I don't know, certain scenes where they're like climbing, I don't know, water tower, like the foot part of it. I don't know what was at the top of the tower, but it was just, it was space for people to climb, and that water went up so high, y'all, like, seriously. And it ended up breaking, and but like for me at the very end, kind of seeing what looked like a performance, some type of like miracle happening. He gave us a show at the end, and it was so beautiful, y'all. Like, I can't like describe how the water just rushed back down from, into the form of these animals. And the kids and I mean, because I know that we were the only ones that saw it. I don't know who else would have saw it, but we were just so fixated on, um, you know, just that scene, that portion of what was going on. And I was like, oh man, wow, like this is super cool. So I'm assuming that was like the end of the craziness and the water subsided. I don't remember like getting down or anything like that, but yeah, I just had to run and hop up from sleep to tell you guys that, because I hadn't had a dream in a few days. And yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, but again, very sad. So I'm just gonna end this to say, something's coming. It is coming. Everybody's dreaming about floods. I've been dreaming. I always had, various dreams about floods in my teenage years. And it's gonna be pretty high. Like, it doesn't matter how high you climb, what you get on, everything will be engulfed. And you have to be in the ark of the safety. You have to be in the ark of safety. Um, and if you don't know the Lord, again, guys, just whoever's listening, get to know him, because something's happening here and there's a shifting, and it's going to happen out of nowhere. And I say nowhere, although we've been given signs and signs and signs, people have been ignoring the signs. And so for them, yes, it's going to feel like it's out of nowhere. But we, the body, we know, we know, we see, we feel the birth pains. And when it happens, guys, there's going to be no stopping it until the Lord is ready to stop it. And it don't matter in what direction you go, how high up you go. People will be consumed by this level of judgment. Because that's what I felt like it was. Because this wasn't an ordinary rain. It wasn't an ordinary flood. I mean, this flood, I don't think I've ever seen this amount of water in any of the dreams that I've had. I mean, it went past the tallest gated fence, any average roof. Now, again, we were at like a theme park, so it was really, 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 really high, really high. And I just thank God that my kids and I were able to climb the way that we did. And for a minute, though, I honestly started to get worried, because I'm like, okay, I'm running out of stuff to step on, to hold this down, without, falling in this water. And but that's all I remember, guys. If I think of anything else, I'll definitely come back and try to edit. But thank you guys for listening. Be encouraged. Um, let the Lord lead and guide you guys. It's 2024, so I mean, any moment now, honestly, we could be going on home, and I don't know if this is before we're gone or after we're gone. All we need to know, we just need to be ready. We need to be diligent. We need to be looking up. We need to be paying attention to the things that are going on around us. God is so faithful, guys. Like, he just is. And I just feel like that was like a testament, because, like, yes, it's chaotic around you. And, just hold on to your faith, because at the very end, not only will he deliver you, but he'll put on a little show for you too, like to say, not only am I God, not only am I in control, but I got you, and I'm gonna still make you smile at the end of all of it. And yeah, I just, he's so awesome, guys. So But thank you guys for listening. Love you all. Be steadfast. And again, I have to apologize. I'm a little, it's super early, but I had to run to get this recorded, because the ending was a spectacular performance that God put on. And guys, if I could I'm gonna try to find a picture or something I could put up there to show you guys what I just saw. It was just so cool. Anyways, until next time, guys, be blessed. Bye.